So she went onto this Facebook group and she wrote about it a few days later when she was like, wait a minute, this guy's not getting back to me. I've lost the flight ticket, not in a great place. And then this other woman messaged back and was like, hey, let's connect offline. So then she shared her story. This guy supposedly is married. He's then been dating this other girl who just found out that he's married, saying he was going to get divorced. And now he was dating the person that I know.
Lord have mercy.
And so I think when you hear a story like that, it's no surprise that that spreads, because that's a fascinating, juicy story. And it's heartbreaking for the people that are actually invested and involved in it. And I think that empathy, even when I heard that story, I was so heartbroken. But we have to remember that isn't the majority.
Exactly.
It does exist, and it's really sad. And if it's happened to you, I'm so sorry. Like, I feel like that could be the worst thing to go through. But it isn't the majority. And we have to be careful about how we amplify the minority experience.
Exactly. And I think what we're not realizing as a society is that the reality is we base our perceptions of the opposite sex on what I call the desirables, all right? That top 20% of men or women who get the most attention, who have the most opportunities. And it kind of goes back to that belief of how great power can corrupt, all right? So even the good, nice guy, if he now becomes a man who has all kinds of beautiful women coming after him, he has all this access, not all, but there are many who will start to fall into behaviors that they wouldn't have before, who will start to become more of a womanizer, who will start to enjoy all this access that they have, right? And the reality is that when we hear these stories, this is not a story of the average man who just wants a relationship, looking for love, is genuine. Maybe he doesn't get all the attention. Maybe he's not the most desirable guy, but he's a good guy. But that's not where we're gonna put our attention. And it's the same thing with women. When you hear men on the internet say, women just want money, women just want money. Now, granted, women value financial stability in men, most, okay? And I think that most men should strive from some level of stability. However, there are tons of women dating broke men, right? There are tons of women who that is not their number one priority. It's a desire, but they wanna be loved. They want quality time. They want these other things. But again, if it's not being said by the audience that the men fixate so much on, they don't hear those voices.
Yeah.
They just focus on the women who, again, and I'm using the word desirables, not because I'm determining what's desirable. I'm just laying out the people who get the most attention, who tend to get more attention for whatever reason, right or wrong. That's what happens in life. And so we got to realize that they do not represent the majority. And we have to ask ourselves sometimes, are we focusing too much on the wrong group of people when we're trying to come to an understanding of the opposite sex?
For sure. When people are dating, what are some of the things to look out for when you're thinking about long-term success? Because I think the challenge people are having now is like, someone will lover bomb them for 3 months, everything's moving amazing, it's getting really intense, like, dates are great, hanging out's great, the intimacy is great, and then all of a sudden it's like one person kind of checks out and goes, hey, I don't think this is working for me. We're moving too fast. Hey, we should slow this down. Hey, I think we rushed into it. And then you're like, wait a minute, I thought we were gonna get married, right? Or like, I thought this was going somewhere. What are we meant to do? What are people meant to do in those first 3, 6, 12 months, if you had to give markers to kind of slow it down? Because I think we all want to fall in love fast, but it doesn't seem to ever work healthily that way, or it doesn't work often healthily that way.
Well, before I get into what we should do with those markers, I think I always say this, love bombing is only when it's a one-sided thing. So basically, two people meet, one person is showering them with all this love and attention and going hard. And for the other person, it's not them saying, oh, I'm in love with them. It's them saying, this feels so good.
Yes.
I'm enjoying this. Let me keep this going. You see?